Hello, folks. It's Austin Wazalewski, and I'm sitting down with some fine gentlemen in a band that we have been wanting to get in here for a long time. They are Sweet Plot.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, definitely.
Saturday, come out and play. My week is lonely without you. Forget the trouble, forget the rules. It's about time we let loose.
So, self-described original funkers, rooted here in the city of San Francisco. First topic I want to talk about, I read on the website in a blurb, the 2011 Genesis, a jam night that you guys had that seemed to spark an epiphany of a higher calling of dance music. Elaborate on that for me. Tell me where this is rooted and that connection from that night and how it happened.
Well,
Go for it, Don.
it happened at my house, have a home studio, and I grew up in the Haight in the 60s and listened to a lot of funk and soul music. KDIA and K-Soul was what was happening. And fast forward, I met Cole through my son maybe about 10 years ago, and we started jamming, and want to take it from there?
Yeah, I mean, Don and I go way back, like furthest in the band, and then Dan and I actually met through a mutual friend, and Dan was in one band, Don and I were in another, and one night we ended up at this gig, and our bassist didn't show up. He kind of like left for a while to do his own thing, and so Dan's like, oh, he's a singer, guitar player, and he's like, I'll hop on bass and jam with you guys, and so we jammed out, and it was a great time, and just all of a sudden we became a band.
Cool.
Pretty awesome.
Awesome.
Oh, lolly law, took my money, robbed me blind. Got nobody to lend a hand. Jesse James gonna come and kill the tax man. Oh, lolly law, took my money, robbed me blind.
Moving to, I'm really interested in this plot, this word plot you guys use a lot. I want to know what the significance of that is. Maybe not just like why the name, but I know plot thickens and plot anthology. Mm-hmm. So what does this word represent and what's it symbolic of?
Well, there's a concrete meaning, but it's also, it's open for interpretation and, letting the people experience it, find their own meaning in it. But it originated based on our plot retreats up to the plot, which is a plot of land up in Redding, California, where there's some beautiful Bernese mountain dogs being raised and open terrain, and we can play as loud as we want, and we just had some epic jams, and that's probably the T=0 for the plot, but since then it's taken on many different forms.
Right. You guys seem kind of narrative driven in that way. Is that part of, a lot of artists were involved in myths of our own existence. Is that big for you guys to kind of maintain that root and kind of move forward with a narrative in mind that, these sequences of events have led us to, some kind of cosmic gathering? Is that a big part of what it is for you?
Yeah, I think there's a narrative with everything in life. So you really just gotta find it and see where the seam takes you.
Right.
So we're not going to put like a label on it, plot is like, but it's, as you said, it's mysterious. There's not a full description of what it is. You just got to listen to the music to find it.
Yeah.
I think for, playing into that narrative approach, it's a little bit of a lost art in music today. Everything's very kind of singles oriented, and there's something about, broadening the scope of what a work of art is musically beyond just a single song that we kind of gravitate towards as well. And so we want to be able to tell a story, and we also, realize that there's a lot of this stuff that's kind of played in a lot of rock music and funk music. Like you look at Funkadelic, and they have all of these very cosmic, approaches to actually tackling real kind of social issues and talking about things that are important in society, and that's interwoven in our music as well.
Comes out hot from precincts, politicians old, corrupt and weak, have no style.
let's move to San Francisco. So you talked about music rooted in social awareness and social politics. We're obviously in a critical time in our city in which resources, land, places to play, means of expression are being stifled. What are some of the things that you, maybe as having been here for so long, what's changed? What's gotten better? What's gotten worse? Maybe we can keep it in the music venue realm or music opportunity realm and take that to the larger scene. What can you give us in that way?
I think Don is probably the foremost expert on that one. He's seen the most change.
Yes,
you know?
yeah. Well, it used to be you used to get paid more money in the music scene, and now sometimes it's almost pay to play.
Right.
You can't make money really playing in clubs that much. The money that we make goes into producing, the next CD or whatever. And what I enjoy with the lyrics that you guys come up with, I mean, I like the social content in it, and
Yeah, I think that's important for music nowadays, especially.
Yeah.
Definitely. So what have been the challenges for you guys navigating this scene here in the modern context? And what have been the ups? Where have you seen San Francisco shine in its greatest? And where are the moments where it's been like, wow, like this is not what it used to be or what I thought it was?
I mean, I think just getting started as a band, I mean, I think that's no matter what era, place you are, it's always going to be difficult. But especially here where you have so much saturation of the market, it can be really difficult. And like Don said, pay to play.
Right.
It's a common one, the trap you could fall into, or just promoters that really just rip you off. And it can be really disheartening for a lot. I think a lot of people just stop because they're like, all right, I worked so hard on my music, my songs. It's hard enough to just get in front of a crowd, and now I didn't make any money and feel like, I lost everything. So
Right.
I think that's a really difficult part of the scene. I just want to say to all musicians starting up, just stay with it. Try to do as much of it yourself that you can. Because you've got your own back more than anyone else,
Right.
and just try to stay with it if you love it.
Yeah, to touch on kind of the whole spectrum, I think starting out as a band, there's a certain period where I think anybody needs to kind of earn their stripes, and you play for a lot of empty rooms, and early on, maybe that's the appropriate amount of people that should be hearing your music as you start refining your sound and stuff like that. And for us, it's also about aligning your, not so much the incentives, aligning your goals. I don't think any of us have approached this musical pursuit as we're in it for the money or we're in it for this. We founded this group. We were all friends before kind of music, and we founded it out of a brotherhood and creative release. And so we can always keep coming back to that and find solace in that without getting caught up in the finance. But the band's realized some great successes over the past 2 years just from being very persistent. We got to play the Beta Breakers festival stage for 50,000 people. Got to play at Outside Lands this year. Got to headline Independent and Great American Music Hall, and all these things are just so phenomenal for us to grow up and watch artists we love on those stage, and then finally get to stand on them ourselves. It's really rewarding.
Well, if there's not anything else, maybe you could tell us what do we look for on the horizon, and a couple shout-outs. Where else can we find you guys on the web, and how else can people get connected with you?
Yeah, so as mentioned before, we're going to be playing the Independent, headlining with Midtown Social, awesome band, opening up. So we're really stoked for that. That's going to be on January 20th, 2018. And coincidentally, it's also going to be the last show with our dear, awesome drummer, Daniel Plautz. He's moving on new horizons, moving to Australia, which is awesome. I can't wait to visit him. So we're really happy for it. It's bittersweet. We're really happy for him, but we're gonna miss him a lot.
Yes.
The band will go on.
Yeah.
the plot's got to keep getting riding
Plot's got
on.
to keep thinking.
Keep thickening, keep thickening. But yeah, we're gonna miss him. So it's gonna be our last show. He literally was able to stay for that show, and he's flying out the next morning.
day.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a party. It's gonna be
Definitely.
insane. Yeah.
Awesome.
And before he leaves, we're hitting Hyde Street Studios, and we're gonna be cutting some
Right on some live.
Yeah.
cutting
Yeah.
some
Hell
stuff.
yeah.
So
Awesome.
we got some music to look forward to too.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, very excited. As we talk about kind of the rich history in the city, and all of us uniquely, are all San Francisco natives, which is a very hard thing to come by. And to be able to, take part in, we've learned so much from the history that's come out of Hyde Street Studios, and it's fun for us to be able to make a little bit of history of our own in there. So it'll be fun to leave a mark and keep kind of checking off all these kind of bucket list experiences that this musical journey's taken us on.
Definitely. Definitely. Well, positive vibes from Sweet Plot here at Music City Radio. We met these guys through an organic connection here, and for those of you listening, this is your platform. We invite you to get in contact with us and be a part of a conversation like this because it's important that we continue to give artists resources and recognize each other one-on-one here in the studio. So thank you guys so much for being here. Look out for the music. It really is brilliant. Wonderful vibe. Independent on the 20th. Keep their eye out. Surely they'll get a new drummer and they'll keep playing. I know I will be there. So I'm
Awesome.
looking
Alright.
forward
Thanks,
to it,
Austin.
guys.
Well,
Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Austin.
For sure, man.
This was amazing. Thank you.
Hell yeah.